Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Extremely happy to be here amongst all of you. Start with this Vaishnava song. Okay. Share. More. More. This is the song with which Bhaktivinoda Thakur begins his book and description on Sharanagati. So today we'll be just meditating on Prahlad Maharaj, as recently we had Nasim Chaturdashi. Uh, how many years? Chanting 16 rounds for less than 3 years. Oh, okay, okay. All of you are into Bhakti Shastri? You're part of Bhakti Shastri or you attend those classes and all? Happen separately, not every week. Nakula batch? Also attend. Fine, fine. I'll try to simplify things. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Jivedaya Puri Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Jivedaya Puri Svapashadasmi Adhama Atyanta Durlabha Prema Koribare Dana Sikhaya Sharanagati Akatera Prana Dainyatmanivedana Pupratve Varana Dainyatma Avasya Rakshive Krishna Vishwasa Palana Bhakti Anukula Matra Karera Svikara Bhakti Pratikula Bhava Parjanangikara. Ladanga Sharanagati Hoi Vezahara. Ahara Prarthana Sune Srinanda Kumara. Rupa Sanatana Pade Dante Trina Kore. Bhakti Vinoda Krude Prabhupada Dhori. Kandiya Kandiya Mune Amito Adhama. Shikhaye Sharanagati Purohe Uttama. Shikhaye Sharanagati Purohe Uttama. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Divedaya Kori. Chaitanya Prabhu Divedaya Kori. Parshadasi Adama Kavatari. Atyanta Durlava Prema Purivare Dana. Durlava prema purivare dana. Sikaye sharanagati bhakatera prana. Sikaye sharanagati bhakatera prana. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare. Krishna Hare. Jaya Vaishnava Thakur, Jaya Vaishnava Thakur, Vaishnava Thakur, Jaya Vaishnava Thakur, Jaya. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Kirnam Sankirtanam Ki. Let's read the meaning. Yeah, somebody can read. Comparison to the fallen souls, Satan came to destroy this personal ecosystem and lying about. Indeed, Sharanagati surrendered to the Almighty Godhead and ecstatic love of God.
ordinarily very difficult to obtain. Is Sharanagati the very light? The ways of Sharanagati are humility, dedication of the self, acceptance of the Lord as one's only maintenance, faith that Krishna will surely protect. Krishna of only those have to do, and realization of conduct approach to do. Krishna. Where is the fear of the fear of that one is I see people even on our places from within place himself growth of a strong growth on that the speed. And certainly the lowest of them tells them, but please make me the best of them by teaching me the ways of.
Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur Pad ki jai. Prabhupada specifically said, no, songs written by Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Narottam Das Thakur, they are non different from scriptures for us. Okay. So it's very important that we regularly sing them, meditate on them, okay, look at their meanings, meditate on their meanings, etc. etc. This was in relation to a particular context of one verse which we'll discuss today. Sorry? Hare Krishna. Online, I wish to know how many are there? 10 are there? Okay, 10. Like, it was more than it would have been. Should I share the screen? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Dayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Yeah. Hope they're able to hear, no? Some devotee had it on low volume or something. Nodvigna Chitto Vyasaneshu Nispara Shruteshu Drishteshu Gunesha Vustadrek Bhantendriya Prana Sharira Di Sada Prashanta Kamo Rahita Suro Sura Nodvigna Chitto Vyasaneshu Nispara Sruteshu Drishteshu Gunesha Vastudrek Bhantendriya Prana Sharira Di Sada Prashanta Kamo Rahita Suro Sura Nodvigna Chitto Vyasaneshu Nispara Sruteshu Drishteshu Gunesha Vastudre कान्तेन्द्रिय प्राण शरीरति सदा प्रशांत काम रहितो सुरोसुरा चित्तो व्यसने निष्क्रा सुरेषु दृष्टेषु गुणेषु वस्तुते
कान्तेन्द्रिय प्राण शरीर धी सदा
कान्तेन्द्रिय प्राण शरीरति सदा चित्तो व्यसनेषु निष्क्रा सुरेषु दृष्टेषु गुणेषु वस्तुते कान्तेन्द्रिय प्राण शरीरति सदा प्रशांत कामो रहितो सुरोसुरा
तो देषु निष्कलः
चित्तो व्यसनेषु निष्क्रा सुरेषु दृष्टेषु गुणेषु वस्तुते
शरीर धी सदा
कान्तेन्द्रिय शरीरति सदा कामो रहितो सुरोसुरा विघ्न चित्तो व्यसनेषु निष्परा तेषु दृष्टेषु गुणेषु वस्तुते तेन्द्रिय प्राण शरीरति सदा प्रशांत कामो रहितो सुरोसुरा Okay. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace is Vedanta Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. Although Prahlad Maharaj was born in a family of Asuras, he himself was not an Asura, but a great devotee of Lord Vishnu. Unlike the other Asuras, he was never envious of Vaishnavas. He was not agitated when put into danger. And he was neither directly nor indirectly interested in the fruitive activities described in the Vedas. Indeed, he considered everything material to be useless, and therefore he was completely devoid of all of material desires. He always controlled his senses and life air, and being of steady intelligence and determination, he subdued all lusty desires. Purport. From this very verse, we discover that a man is not qualified or disqualified simply by birth. Prahlad Maharaj was an Asura by birth, yet he possessed all the qualities of a perfect Brahmana. Brahmanya Shila Sampanna. Anyone can become a fully qualified Brahmana under the direction of a spiritual master. Prahlad Maharaj provided a vivid example of how to think of the spiritual master and accept his directions calmly. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratishe Namaha हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगतपते Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Mancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktarinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Nachana Nimasa Janata Paramatmane Balabhadra Subhadra Bhagavata Krishna 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 Hare Krishna. This is a very important section in the Bhagavatam in relation to Prahlad Maharaj. If you see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for that matter, if I'm not wrong specifically, the devotee's name was mostly Bhagavatacharya. Then Mahaprabhu hears about Prahlad Maharaj many times from him. Many times. Two specifically, two Dhruva Charitra and Prahlad Charitra. Specifically these two pastimes. Why he has done that and what is the reason for doing that? That is something worth meditating upon. So, our acharyas have done a lot of analysis as to why that is very crucial, very important for that matter. Okay. How many here who are asked 16 rounds? Who are like very new? Very new in the sense 4 rounds, 8 rounds also. Okay. One devotee, others. Okay. I'll be able to tune the matter like that. Okay. I think currently Bhakti Shastri, Nectar of Devotion is going on, right? Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu for at least some of you. And others would have done with Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. How many are done? Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, study of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. 3 of them. How many are into Bhakti Shastri now? Okay, some of you. Others and all, they will get into it. No. Time to come. Next course will be that for all. Yeah. So, in all of the Vedic scriptures, specifically to say, Srimad Bhagavatam is considered to be the essence of all of that. Sarva Vedanta Sarami, Sri Bhagavatam Ishyate, Tatra Samrita Triptasya, Nanatra Sadrati Kuchit. But if you look at the whole of Bhagavatam, when it comes to devotional service, and in the description of devotional service, different levels of devotional service are also accepted over there. The difference in the something being called as accepted and something being called as encouraged. You understood? No? Okay. So let's say somebody is chanting 4 rounds. So it is acceptable. Even if he eats meat and all, it is acceptable. He is not encouraged to eat meat, but it is accepted, even if it is eating meat. Okay. As he continues to chant 4 rounds and all, then the chanting itself will give him enough of strength to overcome that whatever anartha that is there at that stage of bhakti. Okay. When somebody is just a beginner, so he can be like breaking all the 4 regulative principles also. Still is accepted on the path of bhakti. Okay. So what is called a sin for one level of practitioner is not qualified or not defined as sin for another level of practitioner. Okay. Same way in the Bhagavatam also, different levels of practitioners and all are accepted. Okay. So different levels of Mishrit Bhakti, whatever we speak of, Karma Mishra Bhakti, Jnana Mishra Bhakti, etc., etc. Okay. So all these, these aspects and all do find good amount of space and tangible amount of bandwidth for these kind of practitioners, even in Bhagavatam. Okay. And eventually Bhagavatam as such, slowly raises these practitioners also to pure practitioners, or the practitioners of the level of Shuddha Bhakti, or Uttam Bhakti, as defined in Nectar of Devotion for that matter. Okay. Maybe I'll show you some sections over there where you'll be able to appreciate what I'm trying to say. So this is Narad Muni section, first canto of Bhagavatam, 1.534. Evam ninam kriya yoga sarve samstite hetava ta evatma vinashaya kalpante kalpita pare. Thus, when all a man's activities are dedicated to the service of the Lord, those very activities which caused his perpetual bondage become the destroyer of the tree of work. Whatever work is done here in this life for the satisfaction of the mission of the Lord is called Bhakti Yoga, transcendental loving service of the Lord, and what is called knowledge becomes a concomitant factor. Okay, it is the next sloka on it. It's before. This one. Okay. Amayo yascha bhutanam jayate yena suvrata tadeva hi amayam dravyam na punati chikitsita. So what this shloka says is na punati chikitsita. Oh, good soul, does not a thing applied therapeutically cure a disease which was caused by that very same thing? Purport. An expert physician treats his patient with a therapeutic diet. Okay? For example, milk preparation sometimes causes a disorder of the bowels, but the very same milk converted into yogurt and mixed with some other remedial ingredients cure such disorders. Okay? All of you have eaten rabdi, no? After rabdi or rasgulla, these are like milk preparations that can lead to disorder of bowels. All of you experience that? If not, then waste of human form of life. Similarly, the threefold miseries of material existence cannot be mitigated simply by material activities. Such activities have to be spiritualized. Just as by fire, iron is made red hot and thereby the action of fire begins. Similarly, the material conception of a thing is at once changed as soon as it is put into the service of the Lord. That is the secret of spiritual success. We should not try to lord it over the material nature, nor should we reject material things. This is a very important definition of how a devotee deals with the matter. Okay? He doesn't use it for his enjoyment and he doesn't renounce it also. Okay? Both the things are condemned for a devotee. Okay? On the path of bhakti, both are condemned. Okay? The best way to make the best use of a bad bargain is to use everything in relation to the supreme spiritual being. Everything is an emanation from the Supreme Spirit, and by his inconceivable power, he can convert spirit into matter and matter into spirit. Therefore, a material thing, so-called, is at once turned into a spiritual force by the great will of the Lord. The necessary condition for such a change is to employ so-called matter in the service of the Spirit. That is the way to treat our material disease and elevate ourselves to the spiritual plane where there is no misery, no lamentation, and no fear. When everything is thus employed in the service of the Lord, we can experience that there is nothing except the Supreme Brahman. The Vedic mantra that everything is Brahman is thus realized by us. Okay? So what is being said over here is, I think I should share the screen, no? What is being said over here is, in this world, the nature of karma is such that it binds everybody. Okay, person gets bound in this material world as soon as engaged in karma. Okay? But what is being said? But the very same karma, when it is properly directed in service of the Lord, the same karma becomes the cause of liberation. Okay? So milk in the form of rabdi can lead to bowel disorders. But the very same milk in the form of curd, okay, curd can actually cure that disorder. So that is what is being said. Okay? So Bhagavatam like this, encourages and accepts different levels of practitioners, different levels of practice. Here the acceptance is there in relation to those people who are engaged in what is called as karma mishrit bhakti. Karma mishrit bhakti. But when it comes to nectar of devotion, it begins with anya abhilashita shunyam jnana karmadi anavrata. Okay, so there is no scope only for a discussion of these subjects. Okay, there is no scope only of discussion of these subject matter. Okay, so anya abhilashita shunyam. Okay? It's not said partially. Here at least it is said, oh, milk is there, curd is there, rasgulla is there, rabdi is there. Kuch to karo bhai karke. Okay? And nectar of devotion is not like that. Begins on that plan. Okay? Begins on that plan. Okay? Why specifically Chaitanya Mahaprabhu meditated so much on Prahlad Maharaj? Why he meditated, or although these devotees, Prahlad Maharaj, Hanuman, okay, these devotees and all, although we consider them to be practicing devotional service to Lord Ram or Narayan or Narsimdev and all, still, they, as such, you will find Chaitanya Mahaprabhu meditating on them. Okay? Why is it so? Because they are considered practitioners of that level. Not practitioners, they are perfected devotees of that level. Okay? Devotees of that level. Rupa Goswami, when he does this analysis in Nectar of Devotion, in that, I think, chapter number 4, if I'm not wrong, okay? Devotional service surpasses all liberation. Okay? He does exhaustive analysis over there. Exhaustive analysis. Why he does that is, he specifically defines three types of perfected devotees. Okay? They're not just devotees, there are three types of perfected devotees. Perfect devotee. One type are those who are predominantly wanting liberation or moksha for that matter. Predominantly. That is what majorly they want that one. Okay. And at the same time they want devotional service to Lord. Devotional service to Lord. Okay. Second type are those who are predominantly wanting devotional service to the Lord, and they, along with that, they want moksha also for that matter. Okay. Third type are those who are ekanta bhaktas. Exclusively, they only want devotional service to the Lord. They have nothing to do with moksha. Nothing to do with liberation at all. Okay. So why Rupa Goswami does this analysis in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu? Okay. Because Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is specifically meant to help people come to the third type of devotees. Okay. Even this desire for liberation. Our Acharya use very strong word. They call it as Mukti Pisachi. They call it Pisachi. Okay. I hope you understand. Pisachi, ghost for that matter. Ghost of Mukti. Yes. Okay. In other Vedic schools of thought, if you call Mukti as Pisachi, okay, they'll think you have come here to destroy Sanatana Dharma or something for that. They'll drive you out from there. Okay. Our Acharyas even condemn Mukti also for that matter. They condemn Mukti also. That's what I said, no? One is taking matter for one's own enjoyment. Second is renouncing matter. No, both are condemned. Okay? So Mukti is that only. Mukti is basically renouncing, just giving it up all up. Okay. So even that desire as such, Rupa Goswami Pad specifically analyzes over there and thoroughly condemns that. This comes in the first part only, fourth chapter over there. Okay. So these devotees, Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruva Maharaj, Hanuman as such, they are Ekanta Bhaktas. Ekanta Bhaktas in the sense, okay, they are completely fixed and completely find deep sense of spiritual satisfaction in service to the Lordship they are fixed in. Okay. Like Prahlad Maharaj as such, completely fixed in service to Lord Narsimdev. And other forms. Hanuman as such is completely fixed in service to Lord Ram. They have no second thoughts on that. They have no second thoughts. But it is said that devotees in Vaikuntha, these specifically two categories of devotees whom I described, those who predominantly want liberation, those who predominantly want bhakti, and etc. etc. Okay, so these two specific type of devotees, as such, they get attracted to devotees in Golok Vrindavan also. The third type of devotees which I described, these are the devotees who get Ekanta Bhakti. When I said, these are the devotees who get fixed in devotional service in Golok Vrindavan. Okay, which is not a thing which is so cheap for that matter. That is why in this song, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, that is what he's singing over here. Atyanta durlabha prema koribare dan. Koribare dan. Okay. So it is given in charity for that matter. Given in charity. So this third type of devotees, Ekanta Bhaktas and all, no? We can only desire and pray, no, to the pure devotees of the Lord and no, the Supreme Lord, that we get admitted into that level of devotional service or that type of devotional service specifically. Other two types as such, no, you can practice. You understand, no? It is something of practice, no? Type of practice it is. Third type is not a type of practice. Okay. It is only grace only for that matter. That is why dan, it is given in charity over there. It is given in charity. Okay. And just show you one something, you'll be able to appreciate it more. So this is a Rup Goswami Pad's NOD. It is just only in Sanskrit only over there. He takes shlokas from practically ocean of scriptures. He quotes shlokas and he describes Sanskrit analysis and all. Then he keeps going on and on. So whole of NOD has some close to, I think, 2,200 shlokas. And we study the 19 chapters. Don't remember the exact number. It doesn't cover the full 2,000 shlokas. Covers only part of it. Covers part of it. Okay. We initially, there are four, even in that there are four parts. Okay? There is Samanya Bhakti, there is Sadhana Bhakti, there is Bhava Bhakti, and there is Prema Bhakti. Okay? So in these four things also, this Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, second part what is there, that has maybe like maximum part, some close to some few hundred shlokas, 200 or 400 shlokas or something. Rest other parts have some part of it. So when it comes to spiritual progress, there are three types of practitioners. Okay? These are three types of practitioners only, no? Sadhakas, three types of sadhakas. Okay? So here I defined, right? First type are those who want predominantly moksha. Okay? And second type of those who predominantly want bhakti, but along with that there is a mixture over here. Mixture over here. And third type are those who want only prema bhakti. They have nothing in their consciousness. Nothing in their consciousness. Don't assume that you are in the third track. Okay? Give me a humble chance to prove it. Okay? Come to that point. Okay? So the first type of practitioners, they take more than one lifetime for coming to perfection. Okay. Second type of practitioners take one lifetime. Okay. Third type of practitioners, they come to perfection within one lifetime. Within one lifetime. Okay. Here in the first and second type, the practitioners as such, they accept Varnashram Dharma. Along with Varnashram Dharma, they practice bhakti over there. The third type, these fellows, they kick out everything. All rules, regulations, whatever is there in this whole creation, everything is kicked out. Okay? That is why Prabhupada says also, I'll read the exact statement. You can make. Yeah. They just extracted some quotes of Prabhupada, what he says in relation to what is bhakti correct. Okay. I'll just show you one, which is so that is the liberated stage. So one come to the liberated stage, from there he can begin Mad Bhakti Labate Param. Bhakti means the activities of the liberated stage. These are not material things. So please hear this. So this Krishna consciousness movement is little difficult to understand, because these activities are for the persons who have already attained moksha for them. Understand, no? They are done with that one. They are done with it. That's why Prabhupada is telling that our movement is little difficult to understand. Okay? If you say it's very difficult, then people will run away. So already people will have some misunderstandings. He already outrightly proposes that it is too difficult, and people will be even more having second thoughts about it. Okay. Otherwise, this last part is that very difficult. These fellows very difficult to understand. Very. That is why most societies they get shocked when they look at ISKCON and all. How is it, your people are there of all different cultures, all different nationalities, all different languages. Kali Yuga, people of the same family. In English, there is a saying which became wrong. The saying is, blood is thicker than water. Blood is thicker than water. Understand, no? Since blood relation, like very thick for that. Here in ISKCON, one person is from America, one more is, etc., etc. Okay? Muslims, Christians, Hindus, Sikhs, Parsis. क्या हो क्या रहा है यहाँ पे? Something strange is happening over there. Because the last part is very, very sweet. These people who are of this type of practitioners, as I said, you can't do it. You get by grace only you enter that part. Okay? By grace only. Okay? So first these two types, basically they are those people who are practicing Varnashram Dharma. Along with that, they are doing bhakti as such. Okay? And in the first track, here all freedom is given to get the fruits of Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, enjoy those fruits, and then slowly progress in life. Okay? Second, as such, there is no scope for that. There is no scope for whatever fruits you get from your Varnashram Dharma activities. This is basically what we define as Sharanagati. That is that over there. This is the second path is that. Okay? Third, at least forget it. There is no question of that one. Okay? There is no question of that. Okay? But here in the second part, basically, even with the Varnashram Dharma, they do it. So second part is how Ramanujacharya, he defined this Pantha. Okay? First is how Madhvacharya basically defined this. Okay? And this third part is actually what is specifically given by specifically given by these people. These 32 people who are there, no? It's not 32, can be 32 or 32 plus, you can say. Prabhupada said these 32 are there, and whomever else these 32 has such, how to call it, certify. Okay? They also are accepted. Here, Haridas Thakur is not there, if you see. Okay? Like that, quite a few devotees are not there. Okay? But it is understood. The many great souls, other apart from these. Okay? So these specific, these 32 devotees as such, they can actually bestow that third path. Okay? These 32 are, they are not like as per historical records, they are recorded. Okay? These 32 names specifically are hand-picked by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. There is one whole song, I think Krishna Hoite Chaturmukh. There are all these names as such. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur notes that. In the last he says, Ihara Paramahamsa Gaurangera Nija Vamsha. Nija in the sense personal. Okay? So all the 32 people, they belong to the Nija Vamsha of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay? And all of their teachings, in essence, it is the same. Okay? And how it is the same? Basically, the succeeding acharyas who are there in the list, okay? The succeeding acharyas, they basically clarify how the essence of the teachings is the same. Okay? If you look at Prabhupada's purport in the 6th canto of Bhagavatam, last purport over there, there you will see. There Prabhupada is, I can show you that also. There Prabhupada quotes Baldev Vidyabhushan and how Baldev Vidyabhushan is clarifying one particular teaching of Madhvacharya as such. Should be the last one if I'm not wrong. One minute, I'll just search it here. It was in the 6th canto. Bhakti Vaibhava as such, we read that. This I am just showing you to make you understand who is Prahlad Maharaj. Yeah. So this is 6, 19, 13. Last chapter it comes. According to Madhvacharya, there are two tattvas or factors. One is independent, other is dependent. The first tattva is the Supreme Lord, Vishnu, and the second is the Jiva tattva. Lakshmi Devi being dependent on Lord Vishnu is sometimes counted amongst the Jivas. The Gaudiya Vaishnavas, however, describe Lakshmi Devi in accordance in the following two verses from Pramaya Ratnavali of Baldev Vidyabhush. First verse is a quotation from Vishnu Puran. I'll just read the translation. Yeah. Although some authoritative Vaishnava disciplic succession count the goddess of fortune among the ever liberated living entities in Vaikuntha, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in accordance with the statement in the Vishnu Puran, has described Lakshmi as being identical with the Vishnu Tattva. The correct conclusion is that the descriptions of Lakshmi as being different from Vishnu are stated when an eternally liberated being is imbued with the quality of Lakshmi. They do not pertain to Mother Lakshmi, the eternal consort of Lord Vishnu for that. So this is a clarification that one of the acharyas is giving in relation. Okay. Specifically, this is something I wanted to show that here these three categories of devotees. No? So it's very, very important to have a proper understanding of that. Okay. Now, second category of devotees, Sharanagati. What does it mean to be Sharanagat? That is something I'll speak for the next few minutes. It's a very important and crucial understanding that all of you should know about. Okay. I think all of you would have heard of this verse, Anukulyasya Sankalpa, Pratikulyasya Varajanam, Rakshisyati Vishwaso, Goptritve Varanam Tata. This specifically belongs to that second part which I showed. Okay. So, Acharyas give very beautiful explanation of these 6 factors. First, they describe what is surrender. Okay. What is Sharanagati? Okay. First factor is Sharanagati is with a purpose. Okay. What is it? Sharanagati is with a purpose. Okay. So in the Vedic culture, how it was, when a person used to surrender to anybody else, it was with a purpose. Okay. And anything, either for material or for spiritual success, everybody used to be surrendered on one or the other way. Okay. Let us say for material things, somebody wants wealth, then he'll go to Mother Lakshmi. Somebody wants a wife, beautiful wife or so, he'll go to Mother Parvati, and to Lord Shiva for a beautiful husband, etc., etc. Okay. For good health, they'll surrender to Surya Dev, etc., etc. Okay. So it goes completely contradictory to today's ways of working. So everybody wants to do everything independently now. Everything independent. Okay. But Vedic culture was a culture of surrender. Surrender. Even be it for material or for spiritual aspect. Okay. So first is we should understand when you say surrender, surrender is with a purpose. There's nothing called purposeless surrender as such. Okay. There's nothing called purposeless surrender. That is useless only. Second is the surrender aspect. It can exist between A and B. These A and B can be like living entities, or it can be like the Supreme Lord and the living entity. You understood, no? Yeah. But the person to whom that person is surrendering to, he needs to have 2 specific qualities. Okay. One is Samarthya, and one more is Karunyata. Okay. Samarthya in the sense competence, And Karunyata in the sense kindness. Kindness. If kindness is not there, no, we go to him for something. If he is not kind, he will not give us only. As you go to somebody for wealth, no, he is not kind. He doesn't have that kindness in his heart to distribute wealth. He will not give you one. Or you go for knowledge. He doesn't want to distribute knowledge. He will not give you one. Although he has samarthya, he is competent with that knowledge, but he will not give you that knowledge. Okay. So the second person to whom that person is surrendering to, he needs to have these two qualities. One is samarthya, one more is karunyata. Karunyata. Okay. And if you go to a person who doesn't have samarthya, that is also useless. Okay. You are going to asking 1 crore, that fellow is not even having 25 rupees over there. Nothing he'll be able to give. Nothing he'll be. Okay. So anukulyasya sankalpa. So the 6 factors, how they are described. Anukulyasya sankalpa. Anukulyasya sankalpa in the sense, the person does everything that is pleasing to the other person. Pratikulyasya varjanam in the sense, he will not do anything that is displeasing to the other person. Bhakti anukula matra, karera svikar, bhakti pratikula, varjan angikar. Varjan angikar. Anukulyasya sankalpa, pratikulyasya varjanam. Rakshishiti vishwaso. What does this rakshishiti vishwaso means? Okay. Protection. Okay. But this protection is basically, one is the regular general understanding of protection, first part. Second is the second type of protection. In the sense, we surrendered with a goal in mind. We surrendered with a particular need in mind. Okay. So what does this mean? Protection means when a person is going step by step towards that goal, he'll face difficulties. You understood, no? He'll face difficulties. The person whom he is surrendering to, he'll protect him in those difficulties also. Or on those milestones, he'll award him protection over there. Okay. Anukulyasya sankalpa, pratikulyasya varjanam, rakshishiti vishwasam. Okay. Goptritve varnam tata. Okay. This is very interesting and very important. Okay. Goptritve varnam tata in the sense, okay, person goes to him and acknowledges that I am surrendering to you. This is what I want in my life. You please help me as such. Okay. He literally just begs him only from the other person. This is basically what? Goptritve varnam tata. Okay. Atma nikshepa. Next is Atma nikshepa. What is Atma nikshepa? Yeah. The first person resigns himself completely to the other person. Okay. He resigns himself to the other person. Okay. What does this mean? Okay. Just like a patient going to the doctor. Okay. The doctor tells him, do this, like this, like this, like this, and all. So the patient will not go to some other person over there. Okay. Same way, when a person as such is surrendering to one person, he is not going to another person. He will not try to do something creative on his own. Okay. Doctor is telling you, take this medicine. After 10 days, your what do you say? Surgery is there, you come. Okay. So he will not do the surgery himself as such. Okay, doctor has given me this medicine. Surgery seems simple. What is there? One knife has to be taken in kitchen. I have so many knives. Take that knife, twing, stitch, and then as such. He will not do all those creative things. Okay. Then what is this? Atma nikshepa. Okay. Last is karpanya. Karpanya in the sense, humility. Humility in the sense, he is humble enough. Now he has come and surrendered to him. He'll not go to anybody else. He'll not go to anybody else. Okay. Nikshepanam was, he'll not do anything creative himself. A karpanyam is basically, okay, he'll not go to anybody else. He'll not do. So, those entities or those living entities who are basically observing all these 6 aspects, they are basically surrendered practitioners. They are basically surrendered practitioners. Okay. So in Ramayana, there was a person who was a nephew to Vishwamitra Muni. Name was Shunashepa. Okay. Shunashepa as such was given Mrityudanda by somebody. He was to die in some time. Okay. Then he comes to Vishwamitra Muni and requests him, this is what has been given to me, but I don't want to die. Please save me. As such. Then Vishwamitra Muni gives him a mantra. Okay, don't worry. You take shelter of this mantra. and you will be protected from all these difficulties. Then he takes shelter of that. Then he becomes saved as such. He gets saved from the death penalty that was given to him. Okay. One more time, no, this is the second example. Vishwamutra Muni was once performing tapasya. Okay. As he was performing tapasya, there what happened? No, Indra as such, no, decided to disturb him. Okay. Then he called for Ramba. He requests Ramba, no, you go and disturb Vishwamitra Muni. Okay. Then Ramba becomes fearful. He says, "Arey, no, I go and disturb Vishwamitra Muni. It will be like Japan bombing Pearl Harbor as such. No? And America, if it gets awakened, what will happen over there?" Then Indradev assures, no, 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 don't worry. I will protect you. Anything that comes, I will protect you as such. Okay? He and some two other devatas and all, they promise, Vayudev and some other, they promise that, don't worry, you will be protected. Okay? Then she comes to this material world. Vishwamitra Muni is performing tapasya and all. And she is successful. Okay? He is successful in disturbing Vishwamitra Muni. Vishwamitra Muni gets disturbed. Then somehow with the celestial vision, he gets to know that Ramba was the person who disturbed. Okay. Outrightly, he curses Ramba on the spot as such. And the curse starts taking effect also. Okay. So Indradev as such here, he didn't have both the things. One is Samarthya and Karunyata. That's for his maybe personal agenda or so. He just engaged Ramba and got Ramba into trouble. Okay. So in our life also, when Ramba. I don't know. Oh, okay. I don't know. Okay. But basically what I'm trying to say, even in our life, whom are we surrendering to? So we should know the samarthya of the other person. Okay. Samarthya and the karunyata. In ISKCON, what happens? We just drop in. Okay. Where we don't know only who samarthya is what. Oh no, what is the spelling of samarthya? Nothing else. We just drop in for rasgulla or gulab jamun. Then we remain for halwa. And eventually we get chopsy and no, maybe some pasta or something. So there is nothing called a purposeless or baseless surrender. What are we here for? What is the goal that we are actually aspiring for? That is very, very divine. Okay. And these 32 personalities who are enlisted over there, they can give that to us. They can give that to us. I'll show you something very technical. It's quite sweet also. This is Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur, Simha Guru. I'm sharing. So originally, as per the Vedic practitioners, no. So there used to be. So this is this essay. I think all of you would have heard about that essay, no? Brahmana and Vaishnava. Bhaktivedanta Thakur goes and thrashes those fellows who would, no, dust or maybe something lesser than dust is there. That. Okay. Here he brings about a very nice observation. It is very important. Okay. We'll now describe the divisions of Harijanas. Indian historians, these are not like some normal historians, some archaeological society and all. They're like basically understood, those who are like great sages and all. They have basically collected this data. Indian historians have collected from various scriptures 12 categories of Harijanas, such as Satvata, Bhakta, Bhagavata, Vaishnava, Pancharatrika, Vaikhanasa, Karmahina, etc., etc. But at present, all of these categories are practically lost, leaving a rough division of two categories. Those who are devotees of Hari can still discern the two paths of Archana and Bhava. Of the four principal Vaishnava Acharyas, Sri Madhvacharya and Nimbarkaditya are on the path of Bhagavata Marga or Bhava Marga. And Sri Ramanujacharya and Sri Vishnu Swami are Vaishnava Acharyas on the path of Pancharatrika Archana Marga. Though the respected Madhvacharya, Sri Madhvacharya and Sri Nimbatitya. Nimbatitya is basically Nimbarkacharya. Okay. Aditya is Arka. Arka is a sun. Okay. Sri Nimbatitya are Bhagavat Acharyas. They nevertheless also accepted the path of Archana meant for the Kanishta Adhikaris. And Sri Ramanujacharya also accepted the chanting of the holy names as part of his Archana rituals. This is something that we should know. This is one. Something else I wanted to show was, yeah. So here he's speaking about Kanishta Adhikaris, and I recently read something very crucial, very important for us. So this is one appendix which is there in the book called Vaishnava Ninda. If you want, you can read that full book. Here, only a section of this. I'm just showing it to you. Somebody can read?
The Bhakti Thakur notes in section 16 that even a Kanishta Vaishnava has no inclination to engage in sinful activities.
Yeah, you understood, no? So here I showed, sorry, I think it's here. I showed you this part. I showed you these things, no? So these are not some kind of roadside taporis, first track fellows. Who are they? You'll get to see now. And why we should know that also I'll tell you. Yes.
That there is no question of engagement in such activities. In his major class, Chaitanya Ichaman, he has enlisted those sinful activities as follows. Interested readers can read the original with Srila Bhakti Vinod's explanation to each of these items.
Okay. So now basically he tells what are sin. Okay. Then we understand what is the sin. No meat eating, no gambling, no intoxication, no illicit sex. Okay, 4 marks. Tick. Yes, read.
First, hinsa, violence.
You can read the English, you can read fast.
Hinsa, violence. Hinsa, violence toward humans, violence toward animals, religious violence, harshness, harshness toward humans, harshness toward animals, crookedness, bewilderment of mind, and intoxication, predominance of 6 spiritual enemies, predominance of passion, predominance of anger, predominance of greed, predominance of artificial pride, predominance of bewilderment, predominance of jealousy, atheism or agnosticism, laziness, speaking falsehood, religious hypocrisy, deceptive dealing, partiality, disobedience to authorities, inciting one's parents, inciting one's instructors, inciting one's spiritual masters, awareness for health, wealth, awareness for women, awareness for fame, selfishness, uncleanness of place, uncleanness of time, uncleanness of reciprocity, uncivilized behavior, while destructive activities, obstructing auspicious activities, superficial renunciation, evil behavior in the name of dharma, unrighteous war, wastage of resources.
Wastage of resources. Okay. So all these are technically called. Here you can see, no center. I'm showing you. Neither sinful, no, not sinful activities. These are major. Okay. So basically, all 3 tracks are free from that. What I showed you, no, all 3 are basically free from this. Okay. So very important. See here, uncleanness is also mentioned. Okay. So uncleanliness is first unhygienic. It is sin also. It is sinful also. Okay. Same way here, no, partiality is also there. Okay. To consider somebody your friend, somebody your enemy. That is also, that is also sin only. Sin that. So these are the things we should know. Because we will be thinking, Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad. But because Prahlad Maharaj, it doesn't apply these things to him. We need not even think about that. Okay? Harshness towards humans, harshness towards animals also. So all this basically gets classified as sin over there. Okay? Crookedness. See, being something inside, being something outside, etc. etc. Okay? Unfortunately, why I'm telling you this, what is this basically what I showed you? No, that is sin. But before that, something else we read. Kanishtadhikari. A person who is a beginner, no, the beginner as such is freed from all of these things. Okay? But why I'm showing you these, if we are having these kind of tendencies, or we are engaging in these kind of things, crookedness and things like that, or we are surrendering to a person who is like a personification of these things and all, then we are not going anywhere. We are not going anywhere. Okay? That is why it's very great fortune. We have come under the shelter of Prabhupada. Okay? And we get a chance to meditate on his teachings, on his personality, etc., etc. It's a great fortune. We should do it properly. And as per that, we should choose our Sangha. Should choose our Sangha. In English, they say, no, you tell me who your friends are, I'll tell you who you are. Tell you who you are. Okay? That's why Prabhupada said, no, my followers as such will be recognized as perfect gentlemen. Perfect gentlemen. So if you look at all of these, which religion, which government, which following in the whole creation for that matter will not recognize somebody as a perfect gentleman if he's showing all of these things. Showing all of these. Okay. Correct, no? Nowadays it's a whole PhD course. What is that? Sustainability and all. Okay. But here in one point only he completes that. Okay. Wastage of resources. 4 words he completes that. 1 word only. No? Apache. 1 word only complete. Okay. Full PhD course he completes in 1 word. Okay. So in the Vedic culture, basically all this was very much, it was like natural only for people to be oriented with these things and all, or with these values, living with these values. It was like natural for them. Natural. Okay. In one voice, one devotee washed his chadar. Okay. So much mud came out of it. Okay. Then he was complaining to the devotee, Prabhu, no, we need to clean the tank above. There's so much mud as such. Mud was there in your chadar. After 20 years, I think you are washing that chadar over there. Mud only will come out. No, what else will come out? Other things, if you watch, the drainage will only get blocked over there. That is the level of cleanliness, we have. Cleanliness. If I'm telling you these things, we are basic, no? But we start analyzing nectar of devotion and those kind of things, but these basic things only we don't know, or we are not practicing. Prabhupada was very specific on these things, extremely, extremely specific. Okay? Even his saffron cloths and all, like he used to be very mindful. Okay? Once one devotee was just folding it, okay? And he was like touching the floor and just holding it. Papa said, Arey, what are you doing? No, these clothes, I'll be wearing it. You can just touch to the floor just like that. Okay. There's difference, no, between dhoti kurta and pocha and all. There's some difference as such. Some difference. Okay. You can make a tabular column and note down the difference. Coming specifically to Prahlad Maharaj, you can open this verse. Okay. 7:4, this particular verse, what we read. One verse we'll read in relation to Prahlad Maharaj. And I'll tell you some other details in relation to him. Okay. Think. So today we looked at this 33. Okay, I'll open it here. No? Yeah, so this was the one we were looking at. Okay. The verse previous to this. Very nice verse. Shows something very significant in relation to Prahlad Maharaj's qualities. Very important for practitioners to meditate upon. Okay. I had planned to start from here today. Prahlad Maharaj description had to happen, but I thought majority will be from Bhakti Shastri audience. But anyway, no problem. Here, so very important, qualities. Will not take much time. Some time is there. I will keep for question answers if you have. Qualities of Prahlad Maharaj, the son of Hiranyakashipu, are described here with. Okay. He was completely cultured as a qualified Brahmana, having very good character and being determined to understand the absolute truth. Okay. So it is said, Brahmana in the sense, Shama Rupa Tapasvina. What is it? Shama Rupa Tapasvina. Okay. So the greatest, not greatest, the specific austerity for a Brahmana is Shama. That is forgiveness. Forgiveness. Okay. Vaishnavity is that this is like inbuilt. For a person who claims himself to be a Vaishnava or practicing devotional service and all, forgiveness is almost like it is like second nature for him. There's no second thought only whether he can practice forgiveness or not. Okay. You can look at Prabhupada, you can look at Haridas Thakur, all great examples, whoever are there, no? They don't personify forgiveness. They personify forgiveness to the limit for that matter. Same way Prahlad Maharaj also. Okay. It is only this quality of forgiveness that makes this world better. Okay. Devotion as such, even if you have to grossly analyze, not even if you just subtract devotion, okay, Here, the quality of a Brahmana I am describing. No, not a Brahmana who is also a devotee, even a gross Brahmana. Even in the ritualistic sense of Brahmana, if you happen to take, he is also expected to personify this quality of forgiveness. Forgiveness. Kshatriya as such is expected to display chivalry and anger and aggressiveness, etc., etc. That is his quality. He is expected to be aggressive. He is expected to be violent. Okay? Some thief is there and all, is expected to give punishment and all. But Brahmana as such, he is expected to personify forgiveness. Okay? Like in a typical, you can take a devotee kind of a scenario. Like, no, let us say somebody takes your prasad, somebody takes your gulab jamun, pure quota of gulab jamun, okay, or you put your clothes for drying, okay, and somebody comes and crushes it, okay, no ironing required after that. He crushes it so nicely. The people wear that. No, what is that called? A jeans pant. It's called crush only. No, it will be having that all that if you like. Wrinkles. Called crush only, I think. Crush jeans, they call it, if I'm not wrong. Okay? So like that, automatically all your clothes become crush jeans as such. No need to like go to some specialized tailor or somebody to do that. Automatically it becomes. Okay? Some devotee does that to you, or you are expected to sleep in some place. No, your sleeping home is only not there. Okay, etc. etc. So all these kind of scenarios you'll experience in devotee association. Okay, outside world it's even more. Okay, there whether you live or die, that only is a question mark. Okay, how people butcher you in your office and all, and very technically very sophisticated way they butcher you. Okay, here somebody might just take your gulab jamun in front of you only. Or they might take knowing that you are looking at it also sometimes. Okay, outside world it's even more no, there are no words to describe that glory. Okay? So in these kind of scenarios, how much do we personify forgiveness? Forgiveness in the sense, no, you accept the fact that mostly if you were there in his position, you might have also done that. That is basically forgiveness. Okay? I'll repeat, forgiveness means if you were there in that person's position, most probably you might have also done that one. Okay, either by force of circumstances, or either due to upbringing, or either due to a strong pulling, etc., etc. You might have also done that. You accept that fact. That is basically forgiveness. Forgiveness is not that no, you are waiting for that opportunity. Now that fellow will come and touch his head to my feet. Then I'll no put my hand on his forehead. नहीं beta, कुछ नहीं हुआ है. All okay. All right, okay, etc., etc. Or you superficially say, okay, bro, he'll tell me sorry superficially. I'll also say, okay, bro, no problem. Okay? होता है ऐसे. Okay? Forgiveness means basically you accept that most probably if you were there in his position, you also would have done the same. Okay? So Prahlad Maharaj as such, he personified this to the limit. Okay, to the limit for that. Okay? You see his dealings with his school friends. See his dealings with Sanda and Amarka. You see his dealings with Hiranyakashipu. Okay, so he never showed anger towards Hiranyakashipu. Okay? Hiranyakashipu stamped him with elephants. Hiranyakashipu misunderstood him. Hiranyakashipu misunderstood his intentions. Everything for that matter. Everywhere for that. Okay? That analysis, if we start, no, that itself will go for 2 hours for that matter. Okay? That itself. This is the previous shloka which I am meditating upon, not today's shloka. Okay? You understood, no? So the primary quality of a Brahmana is forgiveness. Shama Rupa Tapasvina. Okay? And these things what we learn, art of win-win, art of win-lose, all those are Kshatriya paradigms. Okay? That has nothing to do with goodness. Okay? Absolutely nothing to do with goodness. 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, if you see, I don't know under which heading, this Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, Varnashram Dharma, no? That is classified specifically under mode of passion only over there. Okay? The whole working of Varnashram Dharma means passion is also something glorious over there. Okay? Kali Yuga, you cannot even put it in ignorance also. What to put it in, still research is going on over there. So it doesn't fall in Vedic scriptures only. It is so preposterous. It is so preposterous. Okay? That is Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, when he begins Madhurya Kadambini, I'll show you that shloka. Very sweet. This should be the one. Yeah, this is the one. Yeah. So what he calls Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy. Very nice understanding he gives here. Okay. Hridvapare navabhakti shasya vitate sanjeevani swakama rambe kama tapara tudaha damani vishwapa golasini durame maru shakinopi sarasi bhavaya bhuyat prabhu. This is the last part here. This is the most sweetest. Sri Chaitanya Kripa Nirankusha Mahamadhurya Adambini. Okay. So he is comparing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Kripa to Ankusha. Ankusha. Okay. Ankusha. 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 Ankusha is what you move an elephant. Okay. The small rod that will be there. Okay. So we call Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Kripa as Ankusha for that. Okay. Namo Bhakti Sasya. Okay. Hridvapare Namo Bhakti Sasya. Okay. So why it is called Hridvapare? What happens with this Kripa Ankusha is a kind of a surge starts in the heart of the living entity for Navida Bhakti. Okay? And this surge is not as per his intelligence. In fact, it goes against his intelligence. Okay? Whole college as such, they don't know, Hare Krishna, nothing as such. But one boy somewhere in the middle, in the hostel room, somewhere in that corner, he sits and starts to chant as such. Okay? With what intelligence or with which statistical analysis? No, can you describe this? No, there is no description over there. No description. Okay? So it doesn't go as per intelligence. It goes against the intelligence. Okay? This Hridvapare. You understood, no? Pulling of the heart is so strong. Kripa Ankusha of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so strong. It goes against intelligence. Goes against intelligence. Okay? So Prahlad Maharaj, so his devotion was so high. Okay? He was not just only a Brahmana. He was not just having Brahminical qualities. But because he was a devotee, goes against all intelligence. Okay? It's not one city or one classroom, one college, that is into materialism. Whole planet is into materialism. Okay? Whole planet is into materialism. The laws are only changed. Those who do punya, they were sent to hell as such. Okay? Anybody who was very kind, very good-hearted, very loving and all, no, he was sent to hell as such. Okay? That is how Hiranyakashipu designed the laws were. Okay? And anybody who was like very aggressive, very demoniac. Okay? He knew how to kill others, how to stamp on others' face, etc., etc. He was given promotion as such. His salary was given a lot of, what do you call that? Increment. No, not bonus. Bonus is only one time given as such. There is only Diwali bonus. Then after that, you are not given. Okay, but increment as such. Okay, 30% means from 100 to 130, it remains 130, then 160, like that. Throughout for that matter. Okay? Hiranyakashipu gave these kind of perks as such to anybody who was thoroughly demoniac. Okay? But Prahlad Maharaj as such stood thoroughly against that. Thoroughly, outrightly, 24/7 he stood against that. Okay? See, when we begin practice only in hostel, we do little bit. Okay? Prahlad Maharaj was not like only in hostel little bit. Everywhere. In classroom also, in front of teacher also, in front of father also, in front of mother also, in front of principal also. You name anybody in the whole creation, everybody was against that. It was completely against that. Completely. Okay? But look at all of it. In spite of being all of it against that, and these people conspiring, planning, doing everything to harm him, he never had a single trace of envy towards them. Okay, single trace of envy, single trace of hatred, single trace of malice towards them. Okay? In fact, he was the other way around. Okay? He was a well-wisher towards them. Okay? He was a well-wisher. Okay? That is why of all the things in the whole creation that Narsimdev asks him, okay, please, you ask something from me. Initially, he says no. Okay, then finally he says, if need be, no, not need be. No, if you have to do something, no, my father as such is there. Okay, he was a very cruel person and all of that. If you can liberate him for that matter, that is something of a great, a benediction that you can give me. And Narsimdev says, no, why you have to even ask about your father? Generations together in your family as such, already there, gone. They're gone. Their material life is destroyed by it. Okay, that is the benediction Narsimdev gives to Prahlad Maharaj. Okay, so if all the people who harmed him the most, Hiranyakashipu was in the forefront. Okay, and if he has to wish ill for somebody, who should be the first person? Hiranyakashipu. Okay, But here he is wishing well for Hiranyakashipu first for that. He is wishing well for Hiranyakashipu first for. Okay. And even when, see, look at Prahlad Maharaj. Okay? When these fellows, Shanda and Amarka, they come and complain about Prahlad Maharaj, or when he starts glorifying Lord Vishnu in front of Hiranyakashipu, no? Okay? These people, they say, no, we didn't teach and all. Okay? Prahlad Maharaj could have been crooked. No, whatever I have learned, whatever I was speaking, these people only taught me those things. Correct, no? Shanda and Amarka and all, they troubled him so much, they do so many things to him, no, etc., etc. They incite his friends against him, all that they do. Okay? He could have, with a revengeful attitude in front of Hiranyakashipu, he could have told, no, these people only taught me. These people are troubling me and all. Okay? Shanda and Amarka, would have been sent to jail for eternity for that matter. Okay? Hiranyakashipu had 9 steps in on front of his altar. All the Navagrahas, okay? Shani, Rahu, Ketu and all, no? He used to stamp on their face, then get onto the throne as such. Okay? He would have placed 2 more steps of Shanda and Amarka over there. Only for Hiranyakashipu to do these things and all, not at all difficult. Okay? Both Ravana and Hiranyakashipu had 9 steps. Okay? Just like we also have, no? Shraddha, Sadhu, Sangha, Bhajana, Kriya and all. That he also had 9 steps over there. And finally, you could have placed 10th and 11th step as Shanda and Amarka. Okay? You rascal fellow, you trouble my child. Pach, 1 step. Then next step on Amarka. Like that you can go and sit on the throne. And for Prahlad Maharaj to be little crooked and make this happen, it was not at all difficult. He just once has to tell Hiranyakashipu, these people are troubling me so much and all. Okay, give them this punishment. And why Hiranyakashipu? Why will we have have a second thought of troubling him so much? But his height of forgiveness was so high. Okay, he understood these people as such are devoid of devotional service. That is why they're exhibiting all these qualities. Okay, most probably if I was also devoid of Narad Muni's association when I was there in the womb, I would have also been like this only. Okay, with this thought, his heart was filled with forgiveness to the limit as such. Filled with forgiveness to the limit. Okay, so that was actually Prahlad Maharaj. Okay, I'll show one more verse, then we'll conclude. Already 9:15. We'll recite this verse. Very important. This verse is very crucial because you should know this. When you look at people who are mad in love of Godhead, okay, Tukaram, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Prahlad Maharaj, etc., etc. Okay, there is only one side we describe, okay, about their devotional madness and all. But here is something very specific. Please repeat after me. Bhakti pareshanubhava viraktir अन्यत्र चैसा त्रिक एक काला प्रपद्यमानस्य यथा श्नतासु पुष्टि पुष्टि शुद्ध पायोनुघासम. So Prabhupada, in many contexts, he quotes this shloka. In what context he quotes this shloka is, Prabhupada says, how do you understand if a person has advanced in devotional service or not? Then he quotes this shloka, Bhakti Pareshanubhava Virakti. Okay. Then Prabhupada says, devotion, direct experience of the Supreme Lord, and detachment from other things. These 3 occur simultaneously for one who has taken shelter of the Supreme Lord. Okay. So how do you understand you are progressing devotion service? Prabhupada says, Bhakti will grow, Navavidha Bhakti will grow, and detachment will also grow. Okay. And a person feels nourished. Okay. Here, the example is given in Bhagavatam only. In the same way that pleasure, nourishment, and relief from hunger come simultaneously and increasingly with each bite for a person engaged in eating. Understand, no? Yeah. So just like hunger is satisfied, same way a person who starts practicing bhakti starts experiencing strength. Okay, and with that strength, he starts experiencing a lot of satisfaction also. Satisfaction. Just like when you take food, strength and satisfaction both come. This is one angle Prabhupada describes. Okay. One more angle in today's context, what I wanted to bring about is these 3 things, they grow simultaneously. Bhakti, Para Ishanubhava and Virakti. Okay. So Bhakti, you can define it as Bhakti Bhavana, the kind of a spiritual emotion that we can have towards the deities, towards Dham, towards devotees, etc., etc. Okay. Let's say, I still remember one senior devotee. I was going to Utkarsha, in the train. Don't know Indian train. You should call them as train, or some other word should be invented for that. Okay? 72 was the capacity, but I think how many? I think 150, 200. How many people were there? Okay? Still scientists are still researching on this. Too many people. Yeah. But one devotee, he was like running around. Okay? He was having that tin can. Tin can, no? That oil tin can. Okay? In that tin can, aloo sabji was there. And in one more tin can, fried puris were there. Okay? Then he passed by. Then later one senior devotee came. One devotee passed by. Then later one senior devotee came. He asked, he looked at all of us. He asked, okay, no, did you get prasad or not? We are like hungry like hell for that. We thought that devotee will give and go, but somehow he went ahead. Then we thought, no, it meant for somebody else or something. Then we told this devotee, I don't know, we didn't get anything as such. We are waiting. He was like almost in tears only. Okay? How is it? How devotees can be hungry? Wait for some time. No, I'll come back soon as well. He only went personally. He went, brought aloo sabji, puri, and all. He brought and gave it to us. Okay? That is basically devotion, spiritual emotions, genuine spiritual emotion. But these can be faked. Here you will understand. When is it? When is the stage comes where it is actually in truth? Okay? That is one understanding of devotion, bhakti bhavana. One more is Navavida bhakti. Okay, time that you give for hearing, chanting, deity services, or basically these Navavida bhakti, specifically Navavida bhakti, that grows. Okay? And last one is detachment. Detachment in the sense, opportunity or space is there for doing sense gratification. Still that person doesn't do. Still that person doesn't do. Okay. This middle one is very interesting. That is direct experience of the Supreme Lord. Para Ishanubhava. Okay. Para Ishanubhava, it is defined in two ways. Okay. Knowledge of the absolute truth, and one more is knowledge of Nama Rupa Guna Leela of the Lord. Nama Rupa Guna Leela of the Lord. Okay. So on the path of bhakti, basically, when a person as such is advancing in bhakti, all these three things grow. Detachment, para ishanubhava, and bhakti as such. All these three things grow. Okay. So this becomes a very important parameter for us also. Okay. When we have to measure whether we are advancing on the path of bhakti and all, we have to see how much of these things are growing. And somebody foolishly as such is chanting 200 rounds or 100 rounds or something, you just wait for some time to see whether he is actually advanced or not. Okay. You don't have to do anything. Somebody will come and slap him, either literally or in some way or the other. His coupon will be stolen, this will be stolen, that will be, something will happen. Okay. There you will see how much virakti he has. Okay. If he is actually detached or superficially detached, there you will get to know how much is actually devotion that has grown in his heart. If he is actually detached, he will not mind. Hey, what is the big thing? I only lost an iPhone. An iPhone as such. I have to chant my rounds. That is more important. That is how he will be. Okay? If not, he'll go bazar only. Literally go bazar. Then generally second thing happens. Second thing. Okay. Yeah, why I showed you this? Okay. So when you speak of Prahlad Maharaj, or if you look at Tukaram movie and all, generally we describe the Bhakti Bhavana only. Okay. This is Virakti, Paraishanubhava and all. If you look at Prahlad Maharaj's prayers and teachings and all, they are very, very deep. He knows the whole creation, how it works, what do you do in relation to devotional service, how it affects the material energy, how the living entity gets conquered by material energy, friends and enemies. All these things are thoroughly known to him. Thoroughly known to him. So pure devotee is not somebody who is just situated in some kind of emotions as such. He is fully situated in complete knowledge also. Here also and in the spiritual world also. Okay. Our Acharya specifically described in the gopis of Vrindavan and all, of course they are village women, but they are not some ordinary village woman which you would have seen here in somewhere when you were driving through a rural area and all. They are not those kind of village women as such. Don't mistake on gopis of Vrindavan to compare them to here. They're written, village women and all. Gopis are like, they are taking care of cows and all. But even the highest and the complete Vedic knowledge, everything is fully revealed to them. Everything is fully revealed to them. Okay. Our acharyas quote this verse in the 10th canto of Bhagavatam. Okay. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur quote this verse. Okay. Where gopis are condemning the Lord. Okay. This fellow in the previous life he was Ram. He did this. No, in previous life he was this. Okay. Vamandev. No, he did this. Okay. We don't want to be with this fellow at all. Okay. But what can we do? We can't help it. Can't help it, than thinking about him as such. We want to stop thinking, but we can't help it only. Okay. So for us, this knowledge helps us to stabilize our practice. Okay. For them, that knowledge relishes the kind of loving devotion they have towards the Lord. Increases the loving devotion they have towards. Okay. So they're not some fattu ladies, no, here and there, they'll keep doing something, no, and no, they are a village woman and all. No, don't mistaken them. They are fully and completely situated in all knowledge as such. Okay. All knowledge is revealed in their heart, but they understand what is true knowledge, what is complete knowledge, which knowledge has to be given importance, which is the highest knowledge, etc. Okay. Okay. So at least I started my topic. Okay. Yes, any questions or queries? There were some beginners. I thought, at least I hope I was able to do some justice. You got some idea too? Some more questions are there, seniors, you can ask. They'll be able to explain some details in relation. Yes, please. Okay.
My situation, like Prahlad Maharaj situation, he was knowing that everyone is demon only here, so everyone is knowing that is very much expected. But in my situation, I am in the center and I thinking everyone is like devotee. So why is not behaving like that? That is very difficult to forgive. You should also act in a way as a devotee, not that. How to understand and better improve my condition.
See, in those places where training is lacking, no, there you can almost understand people will never change. You understand? No? In general, you can almost conclude where training is lacking and all, people will never change. But in some place, proper training is going on, and different devotees are given proper roles of services, seniors and all. There, at least you can express this concern to those devotees. This is how it is there. This is what is expected from him. But he is acting like this. He is responding like this. You can always express that. Okay? And as per that, whatever actions are taken, no, you have to stick to it. Okay? First part. Secondly, like, no, if you are seeing this with everybody, everybody as such is not as per my expectation, as everybody as such is faulty and all, then there is something critically wrong with you. Then you are wearing red glasses. Somewhere you see red, that is acceptable. Everywhere red means, okay, your lens is only red over there. Then those fellows don't require operation. You require some eye surgery.
Forgiveness.
Yeah, forgiveness as per our adhikar. You should not try to fake it. As per our adhikar, whatever is there, at least as per that, we should practice it. Like I showed, no, qualifications of Kanishta and all. He should not be crooked. Okay. So you can be straightforward in a polite manner. Prabhu, we are staying together over here. No, I observed you. You were doing this. You were doing this. You were doing that. Stick to the observation. Don't tell him that. Stick to the observation. Oh, I need an explanation because this is what is expected of you, but this is what you are doing, etc., etc. If you go in attacking mode, then he'll not let you speak only. Who are what are you doing? If you start like this, no, then he'll also start defending himself. But if you present in a gentlemanly, proper, okay. First you meditate how you have to convey this to the other person. First you meditate considerably, take out time, meditate, think about it. Then you convey that. Then if some worthy explanation is there, he will give. If not, he will accept. Yes, bro, this was wrong, that was wrong, and all. If that also doesn't get settled over there, then go to some proper senior who will resolve the whole thing. No, see, if you are a devotee, then Krishna will give you the strength to forgive and forget. If you are practicing devotional service properly, no, chanting and all these things. Basically, when you are chanting, all these thoughts will come. If you let the holy name just pass through these thoughts and hit your ego, you will get completely satisfied. Problem happens where we keep the mind in front of the holy name. Okay? Krishna is coming to purify the false ego over there, but we'll keep our false ego and our mind in between that. And holy name cannot penetrate only over there. The cure doesn't happen. If Prahlad Maharaj can be murdered, half murdered, and with all of that, he is ready to forgive the other person. We don't face such difficulties, you know. Somebody there, like came here and stabbed you or kicked you or something. Or maybe when you're taking prasad, they forcefully pulled your plate. At least this also would have not happened. Correct, nahi? Little bit chullu mullu, little bit has happened. So You should understand, problem is with our practice of devotional service.
So there is a like one statement that devotee rejects nothing, but
This captures that? Okay. Yes.
devotee doesn't reject anything. He engages everything in the service of the Lord.
Ah.
Another statement we hear that anything which is unfavorable should be rejected.
Hmm.
So how to see both these, like is a like in one level you should practice this, or another level is like this, or at the how to
No, see, Yukta Vairagya, definition of Yukta Vairagya is as per our Adhikar. Okay? And Sharanagati is also as per our Adhikar. We have to increase our Sharanagati step by step, step by step. And as per that, what is Anukul, that we have to take. Understood, no? Okay. Like for Haridas Thakur, he could engage even the prostitute also, no, in devotional service for that matter. We do not have that Adhikar work. What is our Adhikar? Okay, at least some students, boys and all, them we can think of. Okay. Matajis and all, we don't preach. So that is Pratikul, that we reject. Maybe for those devotees who take up Grahastha Ashram and all, eventually they can take up that also. That will not be Pratikul for them. Clearly. Yeah, scripturally. You should act as per Guru Sadhu Shastra, all the three. You have your gurus, you have your sadhu shastras. As per that, you are expected to act. Yeah. Any other question or? I think all of you are hungry. Online? They ask questions or rarely? Oh, yes. Sharanagati. Anukulyasya sankalpa pratikulyasya vardhanam rakshisyeti vishwaso goptritve varanam tata. Goptritve is you go and acknowledge to the other person. Now I am surrendering to you. I wish to gain this in my life. Please help me. Outrightly you have to acknowledge that person. And of course, he has to have that competence also. If he doesn't have that competence, he says, yes, yes, I'll bestow that, then he'll also be in trouble. Optritve varnam tata, Atma Nikshepa Karpanya. Okay? Atma Nikshepa in the sense he has come to him, he'll not go to anybody else. Or he'll not do anything creative. He has come there to gain something. He'll not try to do separately something independent on his own. So I'll give that patient and doctor that understanding. Right now, all of us, we have come to Krishna's and Prabhupada's lotus feet. So we should stick on. The Prabhupada is all the Samarthya. It is certified by scriptures. It is certified by practically whole world only for that matter. Whole world only. So all Samarthya he has. If we are not getting something from him, then we should understand something is wrong with us. Do not think that Prabhupada is something wrong with Prabhupada over there. He doesn't have the tendency for it and he doesn't engage in it. Two things.
these generally these things like sometimes the problem. Those are all our problems.
See that seminar what we take, no, from Kanishta to Madhyama, it that has to be reworded as such. I don't know the basis for that seminar. Good things are taught in that, nothing against that. But when you say Kanishta to Madhyama, what is Madhyama as per scriptures? That you have to read first. And what is Kanishta as per scriptures? That has to be read as such. This is what is Kanishta as per scriptures as such. Madhyama is defined as the Prema Maitra Kripa Upeksha. In his heart, basically, love of God has awakened over there. That is basically Madhyamadikar. Prema Maitra Kripa Upeksha. All the four, he is involved in all of that. Bhava Bhakta. Yeah. If you read Gauranga Darshan proves Bhakti-Rasamrita Sindhu, initial few pages only he mentions that. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur clarifies something that comes in the second wave in the first part. He quotes one shloka 1-276 or 1.2.276. I'm not wrong. Quotes that. There he says this. Prema Maitra Krupa Upeksha, that is there. This shloka relates to somebody in Bhava Bhakti. Any other question? Nothing? Okay. Bro. 1 minute, I'll open that. Yes, bro. Please ask your question. Perfection. Love of God and perfection, basically. So this kind of practitioner, he'll take more than one lifetime. This kind of practitioner, he'll take one lifetime. This kind of practitioner, he'll take less than one lifetime. But this less than one lifetime, you can't practice it. Somebody has to give you that lottery so that you can enter this path as such. This lottery can be given by those 32 people. We can only beg from them. More are also there. Only these 32 handpicked by Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur. Yes. They are first. They are the Mishrit Bhakti. There basically space is given, no? You do sense gratification also, do Bhakti also. Religious sense gratification you should. Not sinful sense gratification. Religious sense gratification you do. You can read NOD 18th or 19th chapter. 10 symptoms of Bhava Bhakti are given. That is the beginning of perfection. Avirta Kalatam, Namagane Sadaruchi, Priti Tadvasati Stale. 10 things are shown, spoken as such, which are very distinct and visible in that person who comes to that stage of perfection. This is what is called as Raga Marga, last one. In NOD, what you study as Raga Marga. But first, two things you have to understand. Nectar of Devotion or Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu as given by Rupa Goswami Pad, that itself is a synopsis of many things. That itself is a summary study. Prabhupada has given summary study of that. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu in totality, if you have to understand, then basically you have to read books, all books of Rupa Goswami Pad. Because he has written many things, many places over there. Then you'll be able to appreciate that much better. I'm not telling you cannot understand. I'm telling you will be able to partially understand when you read only Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, even the Rupa Goswami Pad, what he has given. Okay. So this Raga Bhakti, he puts only maybe 2 or 3 shlokas about Raga Bhakti. Then he just completes that word. Raga Anuga Sadhana Bhakti, what you say, no? This third part, he just puts only 2 or 3 shlokas. Rupa Goswami Pad only, he completes in that only. Okay. This is basically what we describe as Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti and all, it comes before that one. No. Ragadmika are those who are perfected people. Yashodamai and people there in the spiritual world. Raganuga are basically those who are in their footsteps. Raganuga are practitioners. See, when you say Raga, that is why I said, it's not spontaneously, it comes, no, it is given to them. You cannot put some machine or pump and pump it within you. That is what Raga is not imagination. Not imagination. First part. Secondly, even the Raganuga Sadhana Bhaktas, they act as per scriptures only. They don't go against scriptures. In ISKCON, people go to Radha Kund and they think they are on that platform. That is not what it is. When you study NOD properly, there you can understand it. And in that also, again, there are two divisions. One is the Kama Anuga, in the sense conjugal love, and Anya Sambandha. When you say Rag, it's not only related to only like conjugal love, it is related to other relations also in service to the Lord. But deliberately, people only take the conjugal because their perverted sex desires are there that they want to satisfy. They use Radha Krishna as an excuse for their material sense activity. That is why Prabhupada thoroughly condemns that. Bhaktivinoda Thakur was even more. He said this is not Radha Kund, he called it as Narak Kund only. People became so superficial, artificial, and dirty in their consciousness. Oh, yes. No, not contemplate. You understand that if you were there in that position, you would have also done the same thing. Either by force of circumstances or because of upbringing or whatever reason for that. That is basically forgiveness. You accept that fact. But even to accept that fact, some internal strength is required. That bhakti itself gives that. Prahlad Maharaj had that. Good qualities develop when you practice Uttam Bhakti. Yasyasti bhaktir bhagavati akinchana karmer sarver gune satra samasate sura harava bhaktasya kuto mahad guna manoratena sati dhavato bahi. So good qualities develop when you practice Uttam Bhakti. Mishrit Bhakti doesn't help one develop no good qualities. Namavas chanting, proper chanting. Namavas as such. Offenseless chanting helps one to develop good qualities. I'll finish that. Yes, bro. Yeah, he says in Bhagavatam, he says that I don't want to go back home, back to Godhead. I want to make sure all these fools and rascals go first. I'll take them and over. Where is he? I don't know. I have to check. It will be written somewhere in scriptures. It will be there. Some details. Should be there. I heard some details, but I'm not clear. But prefer to not to speak it. Here these three only. These are three, and these three only. They're perfect. Perfected devotees also in Vaikuntha also there will be people having these tendencies. Those who have a tendency. This is not impersonalistic liberation. There are two types of liberation. One is personalistic, one is impersonalistic. Impersonal liberation I am not discussing only. That is out of the scope of discussion only as such. Okay? Something like defining good terrorist and bad terrorist as such. We don't discuss that only. Terrorist means outrightly rejected. Same way, there is nothing called good impersonalist, bad impersonalist whom we have to think about. Rejected only. Here, basically, this is a personalistic liberation. The 5 types what we see, no, in those things. Some people want to go to Vaikuntha so that the liberation is there, and some service to Lord is also there. Others want to go to Vaikuntha, but at the same time, they want to have their liberation also. Rupa Goswami deliberately brings up this topic, thoroughly analyzes this, and brings about who are the highest and who are these people, etc. This is Mishrit Bhakti, I told you. Okay. This is the path of Sharanagati. Okay. As this shloka, Anya Abhilashita Sunyam and all. Here it is, no, person is like a different person because he gets the grace of the pure devotee and of the Supreme Lord, a very different person. Here at least they still stick to Varnashram Dharma. Here it is like, outrightly, Dharma projita kaitavatar paramo nirmatsaranam satam. Fully rejected, thoroughly rejected. Who? They are considered pure devotees in the sense They are practitioners. They are sadhakas as such. 3 types of sadhakas. Huh. No, pure devotee means perfected, no. Vaikuntha. Vaikuntha, Ayodhya, those places. Yes, yes. In perfectionist only, this is 3 categories. 3 categories is this. Our acharyas, what they say, first at least come to the first track. Then you associate with those devotees who are on the second track. Okay? This you will find in ISKCON only, not that you have to go outside. Then you associate with those who are in the third track. Then gradually you cross track and go faster as such. Understood? No, these are sadhakas only. Even when they become perfected, still it is there. These things are there. The division still exists over there. Understood, no? Personalistic liberation. Vaikuntha it is allowed. Goloka it is not allowed. That is why our acharyas say, no, that distinguishing factor when it comes to Kamanuga and Anna, that part. But these devotees, Prahlad Maharaj and Hanuman and all, they don't have these things. They are Ekanta Bhaktas only, but still they prefer Narsimdev, they prefer Lord Ram only as such. There is one whole discussion of Prabhupada, where Prabhupada is clarifying this. The devotee is asking, Prabhupada is explaining, Krishna means 64 qualities and Narayana, Narsimdev and 60 qualities. The devotee, I think Malti Mataji, she is asking Prabhupada, see, if 100% means Krishna, then why to settle for something less, 77% or 87%, whatever? Why to settle for less? Prabhupada is clarifying, just like you have your own child. Okay? Neighbor child might be more beautiful than your baby, but you don't go to the neighbor's baby as such. You are fully satisfied with your baby. Same with these devotees, Prahlad Maharaj, Hanuman and all, they are fixed as such. They are fixed in service to Narsimdev, that they are fully satisfied and happy with that. They are not interested to look at the neighbor's baby. Again, she is asking, no, Prabhupada. Then Prabhupada again replying the same thing. That particular. They're satisfied in that. Because they want that. They want service to Lord Ram and they understand they're fully happy with that. Lord is also completely in loving reciprocation with them. Okay.
They were like ranking third category.
Those who are?
Hippies.
Hippies. No, not only hippies. Anybody who comes to ISKCON, they are there in all the 3. Third people are extremely rare. Second part. People are extremely rare. Even to recognize them, you will need knowledge. Without knowledge, you cannot recognize anyone anywhere. That is why scriptural study is very important. Without scriptural study, what you are doing, you will only not know. You will be thinking you know, but you will not know. That is why I showed that verse, Bhakti Para Ishanubhava Viraktir. Why I showed that? Because their knowledge of the Supreme Lord is also there. Para Ishanubhava means knowledge of the absolute truth also. Somebody is advancing in devotion service means his knowledge of the absolute truth is also increasing. Not only some emotions are increasing, knowledge is also increasing as such. Personalistic, pure knowledge is also increasing. Jnana Karma Anavaditam means Bhakti Anukul Gyan is very much welcomed. Bhakti Pratikul Gyan is rejected over there. End of one lifetime. No. See, we can transit. Initially, we have to come to this kind of practitioner who doesn't have those things, crookedness and all what I showed, no? And that is not there. So at least we come to the first track as such. Kuch to rahega hame. Okay. Then after that, we associate with those who are like surrendered, properly surrendered, who are manifesting those 6 things what I told you, properly, fully and all. Then we associate with them. Then we also develop those scripts. Then we are basically moving to the second track. Then later on, when we are qualified to associate with the third category. You're cross-tracking. One can just go like this only. or one can go like this only, or one can go like this only. Third one, you need special admission. First part. You can go like this, then you can cross track to this, then you can cross track to this also. Either in one lifetime you can cross track, or either in multiple lifetimes also you can cross track. That freedom Krishna gives to the living entity. How you want to come to me, you come as such. Either you come by flight or by boat or by walking or by swimming. How you want, you come. On the way, you want to stop at McDonald's or Haldirams, all those things will come. Wherever you want to stop, you stop, finish your business in the material world, then you come. No, bro. I'm done now. I'm done. Somebody wants to, Hungary, you want to go. I have no objection. Yes. You're too low, bro. I'll give that. It's a conversation. I'll send to somebody. They'll send to me. Proper conversation is there. Okay. These three tracks and all are not as per my understanding. If you read in Gita Bhushan and all, no, there you'll find these words. Swanishta, Paranishta, Nirapeksha. Baldev Vidya Bhushan and all exhaustively describes that. Bhaktivinoda Thakur also exhaustively describes that. Okay. Prabhupada specifically recommended this second one. And by and large, he wanted people to be strong practitioners and pray to the Lord for, what can I say, deep sense of purity and cross-track to the third one. Okay, with mercy getting from devotees and from acharyas and from the Lord. He expected us to then cross-track as such. But at least the second part, he outrightly, demanded as such from his disciples. Okay, Grahasthas will be there somewhere in America. He'll tell them, now you come and preach in Africa. Then within 2-3 months, he'll tell, okay, now leave Africa, come to India. In India also, he'll send them everywhere. Grahasthas, married people, husband, wife, and no home. They used to carry some grains, cook somewhere, distribute that grains, take that prasad, do preaching also, everything. Prabhupada outrightly demanded the second level. And nowadays, ISKCON is a different place. Okay. Chalo, bhai, ghar sit raho, kuch to karo. Gurus, they know. If they start, what do you say? वो चाबी लगाते हैं ना वो खिलौने पर वो ज्यादा चाबी लगा दिया वो ज्यादा आवाज करता है वो दे ऑल्सो स्लोली एज सच आवाज करने लगा तो छोड़ देते फिर से वापस रिवाइंड एज सच देन अगेन लिटिल बिट కొంచెం little story. You're very fortunate if you have mentors and all who are like tuning you properly step by step, taking you ahead, keeping the next milestones. And even in ISKCON, these people are very rare. People will ask a donation and service from you. These two things they will ask. Those people who will set milestones and help you through those milestones and all, quite rare. Quite rare. Shanta, Krishna Bhaktanish. Not Krishna Bhakta. Krishna Bhakta, Uttam Bhakti, who's practicing Uttam Bhakti. That person doesn't have any desire for Bhukti Mukti Siddhi. Other fellows, they have. Like all of us, we have, plenty we have Bhukti Mukti Siddhi as such. Cooking means it has to be like this only. I am born in Andhra Pradesh, chili has to be like this only as such. Chili powder has to come from Guntur only for that matter. Only Guntur chili, no Badgi chili, like that. Very specific. No. Kanishta is very advanced person. He doesn't have a tendency for sense gratification, sin and all. Very proper person. We have very misconception about Kanishta. Kanishta we use like a gali only, You see, I'm not, you can read the scriptures, plain translation. I have put it in an Excel sheet. Some more has to be put. I can give it to you. You can read it. Kanishta, who is Kanishta? You can read that. Prabhupada in one purport he writes, Kanishta is one who has full faith in the chanting of the holy names. He doesn't look here, there and all. And even Rupa Goswami Pad, when he describes Kanishta, very beautiful. There he says, the commentary comes that he has a shakeable faith. He doesn't have breakable faith. Anything comes in his life, any difficulty and all, he has a second thought, how this can happen. But again, with the word of Guru Sadhu Shastra, again, he fixes his consciousness again in the service of the Lord. Such a person is a Kanishta. Person who has breakable faith, He's not even in that category. If we have not encountered situations in our life where our faith is put to test, that is why we should preach. When you preach, no, then how much faith you have, you will get to understand what. Then we assume ourselves, no, we are Madhyamati or something. We have taken Kanti Mali, we assume ourselves Madhyamati. Silly conceptions people have. Yes.
Like one person restores the lost. So in this, when a devotee starts practicing, slowly with the knowledge and detachment he develops. So are these stages given by Krishna or must come from our end?
He is Sarat. He'll give as per his liking. We can ask for it. There's nothing wrong. Bhakti Sindhu, it comes. You can have the desire of asking for higher levels of devotion. That is not considered wrong. You can pray to Lord for higher levels of bhakti as such. That is not considered. But it's left to him how he wants to give, when he wants to give, etc. He or his pure devotee when they want to give. It's only by mercy that we get it. Just like, of course, now NOD, I'll be taking it more. I don't have that this thing. You look at Ramananda Rai. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visits Ramananda Rai. There in the conversation, he is bringing about such deep aspects from the scriptures. But till date, in the sense, till that point of time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu still not discovered Brahma Samhita, still not discovered Krishna Karamrit and all. These are like the two most important books for our understanding and all. Till these books are not discovered only. But Ramananda Rai is speaking highest of the scriptures without those books only. So once this third awakens, no, when the rag awakens, very deep realizations and everything from scriptures are awakened in that person's heart by scriptural study, inspired by the Lord only. Yeah, no? Sada Sadhu Sangha Bhajan Kriya and all, he makes very fast progress as such. That is basically Rag Bhakti. Discipline Bhakti goes at one speed. Rag Bhakti makes rapid progress. So rapid advancement in all the three: detachment, devotion, and knowledge. All three. They grow very, very fast in his heart. Very, very fast. But again, it happens as per scriptures, not on the bank of Radha Kunda. The right people will come, the right books will come into his life. And all this the Lord only arranges in his life. Yeah, no? And at the same time, other qualities and all are very specifically manifest. Okay, who is Guru and all, he's properly obedient. Even the Guru feels different inspiration when it comes to his guidance. All these things have become very clearly visible as such. These are not some ordinary people.
All that same is like that. So like somehow I believe like we also and also indulge in that details to details. How can we like put in the first available?
करो मेहनत करो मेहनत करो मेहनत लगेगी. Like cleanliness, it is understood what is cleanliness. We are Indians, at least we have understanding of cleanliness. Westerners and all, you have to teach them. You have to bathe like this, you are going to toilet, you have to do this. Indians, we are taught from birth. We are fortunate we had Indian mothers as such. At least we have understanding. As per that, we have to stick to that basically. Okay. Close. श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, प्रहलाद महाराज की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama.